see like a 28-year-old painter, and they've done something that a piece of work that they think is significant. There's no real institutional gallery like state-run gallery or sort of state-supported gallery or anything in the UK anyway, for that to be even considered to be concluded in the collection. The Tate, for example, good example. Like, for argument's sake, say there's this 20-year-old painter who's struggling, but has established himself a bit. The chances of them being able to be shown in one of the biggest art collections in the UK is second to none. Any artist as well, also any painter and whatnot who wants to get recognised, they usually get recognised on the age of 60, just by even if they stand a chance of getting recognised by art institutions which are supposed to represent their interests. It's not usually till they're about fucking 70 years old or something, or whatever, or until they're about to drop. They're like shitting their pants. They're about to drop off this more coil. Then they might get a bit of recognition, and ability to just be. And it's not even necessarily about recognition. It's more just about having spaces that facilitate the just showing. Really, I mean, maybe it's better in parts of Europe. I'm not sure, but in the UK. You have to really just do it yourself, really. If you want to just get shows and you want to put on an interesting exhibition, you have to really get out there and do it yourself. Because you're not going to get any support from the state. I mean, we have the Tory government, right? Most of the Arts Council is just whatever. Really, it's just really whatever. I mean, a lot of the grants are tied to specific. You have to pursue specific ideas or do. It's boring. It's like fucking why is that? Why do I have to conform to a very rigid notion of what I'm supposed to be exploring? It just sort of defies the point of being an artist, in my view. If you go, I mean, I don't know. No, that's a bit chip on shoulder from me, actually. I mean, there can be cases where like public arts installations or where that makes sense to have a brief, at least. But I mean, it's not my bag. Though I was saying that, I've done public murals. I've done some murals in the past. Did one at a cafe ages ago, and some other bits. I did some other public art. I've had mixed experiences with that though. Like I did the mural at the cafe. I really enjoyed that. That was a really interesting project to do. Did this mural called Hyperdimensional Headaches for a cafe. Those are with art people, so I was just given pretty much just free rein to do what I wanted. The other one was like a bear. When you had this art projects of painting large models of animals. It was a big thing in the UK a while ago. We did our own version of that in my hometown, and I did a sort of bear design for that. It was like a big bear, and I just painted on it. But that was okay. But also, I don't know. It can be interesting working to brief because I've had this also experience with art exhibitions with the tunnel where we've had to work to a specific theme. And it can be good because it challenges you to think about something new in a new way. That is actually a good thing. And so the tunnel, which I'm a co-founder of from about 6 years ago or something. Well, a long time ago, I was one of the original members anyway. There's a group set up by Matt Tudor, who's a painter in London, and I was one of the first members along with a bunch of others who are still around. So just formed the philosophical base of it a long time ago, but that's you just have to self-organize basically, and there's not, you know what, you don't really, generally speaking, get that much help from, definitely not from institutions. The job really of institutions like the Tate is preserving art and culture from dead artists already, basically. So it's like, I'm contextualising modern art history, and I'm not having a go at the Tate. I like a lot of the exhibitions there. I'm not having a stab at the Tate, but I just wish the Tate. It's it's in a lot of respects, it's a decent institution. We're lucky to have that Tate Modern, Tate Britain, and the sort of institution of it. I guess I just wish that there was more spaces and publicly owned art galleries and spaces that that artists could just do residencies in and show in, and even for beginner artists, I think often the art world can be too closed, and like there's always I think there is this thing of not giving people just the chance just to be to suck a bit for a while, but do it anyway. And I think I don't think there's anything wrong with that. Like, but what I mean by that is that when anyone starts off painting, you're gonna be a bit crude. Your style is gonna be a bit crude. You're gonna be a bit. You're not gonna be you're not gonna know all the painterly methods. You're not gonna know how to apply texture. You're not gonna know how to tone. You're not gonna know about color mixing properly. You're not gonna know about composition. You're not gonna know about anything that to do with creating a painting that works, right? But just having spaces where you can experiment and, like I said, just incrementally improve. It's so vital for creating artists and creating painters. And I mean, I think the government, basically, I think most governments don't really see the practical, what's the output of that? You get paintings, and wow, what do they think? They'll think, what's the use of that? But it feeds into every other aspect of life. If you're painting, then you can also apply those principles to design. It's Bauhaus sort of idea, right? You got the Bauhaus, the institution, the art in the 19. Was it like the early 1920s? Wasn't it Bauhaus, like pre-Israel, Weimar Republic era Germany, wasn't it? I guess. And the Bauhaus was sort of, they were exploring color theory and painting and design and the interplay between the two. It's also an amazing time, actually. Went through a lot of interesting changes as well. I read on the history of the Bauhaus quite a lot. Had a lot of different phases of development. I mean, going back to what I was saying before about how institutions change and sort of, become, I wouldn't say corrupt, but they become a different, less vibrant, less dynamic thing, usually, after a time. So, I'll probably end this vlog now, and I'll just say I sort of over-identify in a lot of ways that Groucho Marx Club love. I would never have, I would never want a job or join a club that would have me as a member. It's the goddamn truth of it. I'm too much of a stickler and individualist, really. Just as soon as I get in a group, as soon as it starts getting too not contrived, too unable to change and be dynamic anymore, I just lose interest, to be honest. That's a stone cold fact, to be honest. Once it starts just becoming too regulated, no one can express an opinion, too hierarchically rigid, just move on to the next thing, really. But anyway, that's my morning ramble. Now I've got to go. I'm going to go for a walk, and I sort of feel like a cigarette, but I'm trying to resist it as well. I need to give up the old. It's just pointless, really. Pointless, man. Anyway, bye.